Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This week we have episode 4, Arachnids in the UK, and to discuss it with me, 2 special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, his favourite scary film is Oculus, is FreezingInferno.
I mean, it was very good, but I wouldn't call it my favorite. Oh, wait, I see what you're doing there, because mirrors.
Yep.
I get it.
Obvious joke is obvious.
Yes, but it's Halloween, so deal with it. And to my virtual right, she wants to defeat Spider-Man by trapping him inside an enormous bathtub, it's Kat.
Well, as long as the bathtub is full of lava, so, you know.
That would be one industrial bathtub if it was lava-proof.
You know, lava, maybe some acid, a nice big shoe just to step on it.
This bath is not getting out of the factory, is it?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, so yeah, Arachnids in the UK. We have one guest who does not like them very much.
No, I don't like spiders.
So for your sake, Kat, we're going to get into the spiders straight away and just get them out of the way. They were the main monster of this episode. Well, they were the only monster of this episode. I will say one thing about them.
That's debatable.
I will say one thing about them. No, I said monster, not villain. I will say one thing for them. The CGI budget has definitely been up for this episode.
Yeah, they look like real spiders, which is why I didn't like them.
They looked really convincing.
Yeah, it got to the point where I just couldn't look at the screen whenever they were crawling around.
Yeah, but they are the monsters of the week.
I don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. We've got a friend, Fresno and I've got a friend by the name of Chelsea, who, when Fresno told her the name of the episode, she did not react well.
I don't think she would have screamed at the screen if she'd seen any Arachnids.
She was like, "Why are there Arachnids in the UK?" Oh, no, Chelsea, it's a Doctor Who episode. Well, I'm not coming to the UK then. No, it's a Doctor Who episode. They're not really in Sheffield. They're not really in Sheffield, Chelsea. You're okay.
I am kind of wondering if the title is a sort of a callback to the song Anarchy in the UK.
Oh, absolutely.
It is, which is why I made that joke last week.
Oh, well. I don't remember what you said last week.
It's all right. You've not got that very good a memory. It's okay.
No, and you're not really that important either, so.
Wow.
Holy
Just give me a few seconds.
I will take this time to apologize for that.
Just give me a few seconds to reattach my face after that sick burn. Because it's currently splattered across the back wall here.
What, did she splash you back with some of that lava from the tub?
Yes, apparently. Jesus God.
Oh
wow.
My God. We're off to a great start.
Oh,
well
trust me. I could be a lot meaner if I wanted to.
No, I'm not mad. Just well done.
You're impressed.
Well, the setup was perfect.
So they are the spiders are the monsters of the week then, but they're not evil or malicious.
They're just spiders.
What spiders do?
They're very confused. No, I don't think spiders can trap people in cocoon webs.
But they, flies and things, walks into their web. They're like, I should do what I should always do and just wrap it up and wait.
No, but people, not flies. But yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, a person just, walked into their web, so they're just like, all right, whatever. They're a really big moth, but okay.
All our mutual friends are just getting mentioned today because Mike, one of our biggest fans, Mike, he thought that the spiders would tie into Planet of the Spiders, the John Pertwee serial, and they didn't.
No, we did. What Chibnall did go for in thematic terms was an entirely different Pertwee story, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, are you referring to what I think you're referring to?
Of course I'm referring to that classic, amazing John Pertwee adventure, The Claws of Axe... Wait. No, that's not right.
I think what you meant to say was spearheaded... No, that's not it. That's not it.
We'll get this. We'll get this. Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. The Green Death.
I think what you two are talking about is the Twin Dilemma.
That's the wrong doctor.
No, that's the right doctor, and you know it.
John Pertwee did the Twin Dilemma. That explains so much. No, you are right about the Green Death.
Why did I just imagine John Pertwee choking out Perry while yelling, "You ham-fisted bum vendor!" Thank you for that, Cat. But yes, The Green Death, which was a story about a industrial company which dumped a shitload of toxic waste into a coal mine and mutated a bunch of maggots.
Yes.
And in this story, we get industrial waste dumped into a coal mine, which mutates a bunch of spiders.
Yep.
Or in this case, dead spider corpses. So they're not just mutant spiders, they're giant mutant zombie spiders.
No, one was still just alive.
Yeah, but they couldn't
45
prove
million
that.
others?
Yeah.
They couldn't prove that one was still alive.
There's one
So
thing
I'm gonna
I
go with
will say about this. I mean, there's not much you can say about the spiders other than that, they killed a couple of people, they were giant. But the BBC had a new filter on Snapchat to coincide with this episode. And it's really quite questionable. Because
What?
it wraps your face in webbing.
Care about Snapchat?
It wraps your
Because I
face
don't
in cobwebs.
Jesus.
It basically does what the spiders did to the victims in this episode to you on your phone on Snapchat.
That's a little morbid, but okay.
Yeah, nothing says Snapchat like immediate spider death.
Yeah.
I'm going to
There you
post
go.
that all over all my social medias, all my MySpaces and my YouTubes and...
Okay. Cat, don't worry. That's most of the spider talk out of the way.
LimeWire.
I will say, though, regarding the whole Pertwee inspiration, but I do like that it wasn't made textual, that anybody who's a new series fan who doesn't know what the fuck Green Death or Planet of the Spiders was, we'll just go, oh, okay, industrial waste created spiders. Okay, that's an interesting episode idea, I guess. And anyone who's seen the old stuff will go, oh, this is kind of like that. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. You don't need the textual thing going, hey, you understand the reference? Which is kind of refreshing in a way.
Yeah, those are the kind of references that I really like, because I'm like a huge Marvel movie fan, so if I see something on there, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I know what that is. And, other people won't have any idea, but it's like, that's okay, as long as it makes sense within the context of what you're watching or, whatever.
Doctor Who
It's still
has
a good
had
reference.
Doctor Who has had some unfortunate brushes with continuity porn. Arguably, it killed the show back in the Colin Baker era. Hey, I brought it back to Twin Dilemma.
Hey, nice.
Nice. So let's bring it back to, I don't know, Doctor Who herself.
Yeah, let's stop talking about the spiders for Cat's sake.
You were talking about spiders?
Let's stop talking about the spiders.
I just sort of blanked out for a little while there.
No,
What were we
the two
talking
important
about?
words were let's stop talking about the spiders.
Yes, please.
Yes, and let's talk a bit more about the Doctor, who added more to her portrayal this week. I think again Jodie Whittaker just knocks it out the park.
Oh, I love her.
She's doing great.
She's coming across to me as a blend of early Matt Smith and pre-Time Lord Victorious Tennant.
It's an interesting thing. What makes you say that?
Well, for one thing, I call people dude now.
Okay,
That's a bit like I wear a fez now, is it not?
I guess.
But she's also coming across as her own character, which is very important.
Yep.
And funnily enough, Nash was talking about this episode and the Doctors as a whole on Twitter just today. And he basically came up with a very good point that there have been no bad Doctor Who portrayals. There have been no bad portrayals of the Doctor. There have been some pretty bad scripts and some bad seasons, but the actors themselves are all good. Now, even Colin Baker was a pretty good Doctor.
No. I'm saying the era.
Yeah.
Colin Baker was he had an interesting portrayal, very theatrical. Every goddamn thing around him was a trash fire that killed the show.
Yeah.
Plus the one he was wearing.
Some of the quick things about the Doctor. Oh, one thing I will vouch for her: croissants are indeed awesome.
Yes, they are.
Great.
And also, kudos for her for pronouncing it correctly.
Yes.
Croissants?
No.
Croissant.
Get out of here. It's croissant. Well, Kat said it better than I did, but
50 mirror jokes, not nary a word. One mispronunciation of a French bread. Get the fuck off my podcast.
There goes the strong language tap.
Look, all you have to do is when you're pronouncing it, pretend you're shoving croissant in your mouth the entire time.
Croissant.
One of these weeks, we will get to the end without any of us uttering a swear word.
Maniac, we're all mature adults here, or at least we pretend to be. We can say a naughty word.
Of course we
I don't know about you, but I pretend to be an immature adult, so...
Well, that's much more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Actually, your shoe size, not your age.
But no, I thought once again she did knock it out of the park. Her interactions with various characters, particularly Yaz's mum.
Nausea.
Yes, we'll get to her in a moment. And Jade, and also Jack Robertson, who we're going to have quite a bit to talk about.
Say a line? Can I repeat a line that I loved?
You can.
You fired Yaz's mum. You can't be president if you fire Yaz's mum.
Yes, that was great. And so was the running gag of her being called Yaz's mum.
Yeah, the one that he literally just copied for you and you didn't even notice.
Yes, I know. I noticed. We were going to get into that, but he jumped the gun.
I think this is the first for Doctor Who reviews. The first internal, but we can't talk about that yet, moment.
Yeah, well, it's not the first, but it's the first time I've come prepared to admit to. Okay, yeah.
Can I just
so
say,
you can?
It's starting to get to the point where, much like with Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker's just doing such a good job that it's getting to the point where that's all we could do to say about her.
Yeah.
Is that she's doing a really great job.
I mean, towards the end of the Capaldi era, that was just it. It's like, well, yeah, he was an actor in this episode, and he was great, and now we move on.
I mean, he was great.
I never really talk about, like, the acting for the Doctor. It's more of the scenario that we find them in and what they do and how they interact that I really focus on.
Oh, I'll tell you my favourite line from Jodie in this episode, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's when she says, "I've never heard of you" to Robertson. She goes, "Are you Ed Sheeran? Is he Ed Sheeran?"
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
For those who may not know, because I had to explain this at least once, Ed Sheeran is a semi-famous singer who was on Game of Thrones and got people really angry about that.
I made this joke when we announced Jodie Whittaker.
I think he's pretty well known, so I appreciate the clarification.
At least one person, so
I appreciate the clarification. One person who is not so well known worldwide, then, would be Shomna Gulati, because she played Yaz's mum.
Nausea.
Yes.
Nausea.
Yeah, it's not Nadia, because that's what Robertson refers to her once, and she corrects him again.
Which kind of sounds like nausea when you say it.
Yeah, I thought it was Nadia at first, but it's not. It's Nausea. It's spelled with a J.
Nausea.
It's spelled with a J.
So, Yaz and her family.
Yeah, and particularly Yaz, who finally got some character development, thank God.
Yay.
I like it. She's got a neat family dynamic, and you can really see how it informs her worldview as a person and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We seem to be taking
as someone
it in
who
turns.
has a family like that, yeah.
If you don't count the debut episode, because they were all introduced there, we seem to be taking it in turns now, where the second episode, the focus was mostly on, I'd say, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Graham secondarily. Rosa the same, and now finally Yasmin gets her turn in the spotlight.
I mean, I would divide it like this. It would more go in twos, I think, and then to Yaz. So like episode 2, Ryan and Graham because of Grace. Episode 3, Ryan and Yaz because of Race. Episode 4, Yaz and the Doctor, I guess.
I would say it's more Graham just because of his scenes in his house.
Okay, Yaz and Graham.
And then episode 5, Yaz and the Plastic Population.
I don't know what that means.
It's a band.
Okay.
It's a band.
Oh my god.
Look, I've been meaning to make that joke for 3 weeks. just run with it, okay?
Okay, I'll let you have this one. You've been waiting.
Oh, well, what the fuck is that?
I'll link you the song later.
One thing that people have critiqued, and I guess it's a valid bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism? Is the scene where Yaz goes to pick up her mom, and they're held at gunpoint. Not of inkling of Yaz objecting as a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
At just then randomly holding a gun to her. That sort of background it's like half referenced like once or twice, but it doesn't really factor in with her actions in the episode.
That's a very good point.
Which is a shame. I mean, if you're going to have a police officer companion, you should do something with it at least. Something creative.
An actual police officer companion as opposed to Amy, who just dressed up as one once.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is, again, coming from an American viewpoint, but if I was a police officer and I was not in uniform and someone held a gun at me, I would not tell them I was a police officer just in case they really didn't like police. And seeing as they were currently trying to hide some stuff, from being found out, that might have been, been the thing that saved her.
That's valid too.
That's a valid point. She doesn't really show any traits of being a police officer, and people commented on that in reviews and such. But honestly, I could hand-wave that away by just saying she was concerned about her mum.
Okay, that's good. I didn't really buy it.
She was just starting out because they had her doing like meter maid service, so she hasn't gotten to do a whole lot of actual police work. So while she has the training, she doesn't have the on schedule experience.
And the weird thing is, for a probationary officer, she was able to go on patrol on her own. That doesn't usually happen. There's not in this country.
Well, then again, giant spiders don't happen in your country.
That's a very fair point. It's fiction. It's fiction. I get you. There is a shot of this episode that I was not okay with, thanks to the fans, because there's a shot with Yasmin with her face pressed up against the wall, with a spider on the other side.
Oh, this shit!
And some fans linked it to Doomsday, and Rose crying against the wall, and that's not okay.
Oh God! 12 years on.
Better than the spiders.
No, I'm sorry, Kat. It's not.
Yes, it is. It is to me.
Oh, you can scare me with spiders, but reminding me of Rose, the sad things is indefensible.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I think we're finally getting a measure of what Yasmin is, who Yasmin is, and she clearly loves her family, but she's fed up with her dead-end life in Sheffield. And she wants more.
Yeah. She wants to just get away and have a nice little escape.
And that makes her perfect companion material.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, we're still not saying that word. Friends.
I'm the hell with it. Companion. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Put in like a clip of that friendship and fatality thing from Mortal Kombat.
Friendship.
Again.
Friendship.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so Yaz's got the main focus, but our other two companions, friends, what have you, they also got some decent stuff to work with.
You want to talk about not okay? Graham!
Yes.
In this episode, my God.
If Brett the Boss could stop breaking my heart, that would be great.
Graham O'Brien, why are you doing sniffle colds?
That's now 3 out of the first 4 episodes. He's broken my heart.
I was
God
crying. It was terrible. It was worse than the spiders.
I have a horrible theory.
No.
I
Don't
know.
do it.
I'm just
Don't
gonna,
do
It's
it.
so bad. It's so bad. We're not even going to allow you to say it. So we're
it's
moving on.
my show.
I don't care.
If you say it,
Theory
the
is
pop-
that
if
Graham's
you
going
say
to die
it,
at
it'll
the
go.
end. There. I said it for you.
If I say it, what? Frez?
I said if I was about to say if you say it, that makes the possibility of it becoming true more powerful. And then Kat went and said it before
Yeah.
I could say that. Thanks, Kat.
I don't avoid Murphy's Law. I walk straight into it singing a happy tune.
Yes, that's the theory that he'll
Because
be.
at that point, who cares?
All I will say is I've got to worry he'll be reunited with Grace at the end of the series. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it outright.
remember 3 years ago when they killed Clara? And then they said, actually, you know what? Killing companions is a stupid idea. Let's do something better instead.
Yeah.
Remember when they did that?
Do you remember a year before that when they killed Danny and he stayed dead?
Well, he wasn't really a companion.
Do you remember?
Was he?
Do you remember 2 years after that where they sort of killed off Bill and she sort of stayed dead?
But she did come back.
For Rory, where he came back as like a plastic man.
Yeah.
There's the plastic population. There you go. Bringing it back around.
Look, we haven't had a proper companion death stick since 1982.
Oh.
Well, I mean, technically the doctor's wife is dead, so
Yeah. Yeah.
River
Okay.
is very
Here's
dead.
here's a nice thing about Graham. He and Ryan are getting closer together.
Oh, yeah. That scene where Brian is talking about his dad, it's like how annoyed he is about the whole line about proper family. It's
Yeah. And also the scene where they were catching the spider in the pot. It's obvious they're
And
getting
him,
closer together.
Him asking Graham if with them to the house and stuff.
Yeah, he still refers to him as Graham,
Okay.
but they're getting closer together.
I like it. I mean, I'm still kind of upset about the whole Grace fridging thing, but
Same.
I like
the
the character
fridging.
growth.
Yeah, we have
It's
different opinions on the
absolutely
Do we
fridging.
need
fridging.
to have a discussion about fridging, Rainiac? Because it is a real thing that happens.
No, I know it's a real thing. I just question whether every time.
It's literally the definition of it. They killed a woman to advance the emotional arc of men. That is a fridging.
All right, it's a
Yeah.
fridging.
You can argue whether or not the emotional arc is good or bad,
Hmm.
but it's a fridging.
I'm not going to argue. It's a fridging. If you say it's a fridging, then it's a fridging.
Yeah, this is kind of like in the sequels to action movies where all of a sudden their girlfriend just broke up with them for no reason, or they got a divorce or whatever.
Yeah.
And that leaves plenty of room for the brand new person to come in and be the romantic interest.
I've mentioned the Doctor's funniest moment in this episode. I'm now going to mention Ryan's, which I completely missed. In fact, we both completely missed it, me and Fresno.
I didn't catch it
I
either.
saw it.
It was the
I saw
scene.
it.
It was the scene with the Doctor talking to Jade in the laboratory, and Ryan's in the background doing goddamn shadow puppets.
It's the best scene.
What a goof. I love him.
I hope that wasn't in the
by the way,
script.
speaking of the lab, boop Doctor Who mirror alert. You can see Jodie Whittaker's reflection in the tank.
Yes, you
And
can.
it's the funniest thing ever.
Cute. I didn't catch it until I wrote my review and I looked up an image and I was like, I better get one that isn't a giant spider just in case it won't trigger anyone's arachnophobia. And I'm like, holy shit! There's a reflection.
There's still spiders in the scene, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Dead
like
ones.
well,
Dead ones.
It's not the focus. It's not a giant fucking spider coming out of the bathtub.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
God.
No.
Oh,
I
that
haven't
was.
taken a shower yet. It's horrible.
I don't have arachnophobia, but that was pretty bad.
Oh,
I could not watch the giant spider up until the moment that it died. And it's like, oh god, no.
I'd also like to thank Graham O'Brien for perfectly summing up the life of a companion when he says to Robertson, "Word of advice, mate, run now, ask questions later."
Yeah.
Now, we've been
That's
pretty
Doctor Who
positive.
Companion 101.
We've been pretty positive about this episode, apart from the spiders, obviously. But there was one character that really divided opinion. And it's actually divided opinion
and to
between
mine
us.
being right and you guys being wrong.
I thought Rainiac was on your side.
No, I was on your side with this guy. We're talking about Jack Robertson.
Oh, well, then ours being right and Frez's being wrong.
Yeah, there you go. How does it feel?
I really wish you'd reflect on this.
Oh.
Last week, we were the ones in trouble, and now Frez is the one in trouble.
Low-hanging fruit.
We were all in trouble last week. What are you talking about?
Low-hanging fruit, my man. So, yeah, let's just... He's the elephant in the room this week, not racism, thank goodness. People think that he is a Trump caricature.
What do you mean, think?
Well, no, I'm not so sure. And I do have evidence to back it up.
As someone who lives in a country that's being run by Trump, I think I have the authority to say he's very Trump-like. He's not Trump because in the episode they do mention that Trump's the current president.
Yes.
Which I feel so sorry for them. But there's still the fact that he's very, very much like Trump.
When you say you feel sorry for them, you also feel sorry for yourself.
So it's like he's not Trump, but he's so Trump-like that he's...
he came across
he's
to
not
me
Trump.
as a blend of Donald Trump and Howard Hughes.
So
Yes.
can you explain who Howard Hughes is?
Yeah, Howard Hughes was a billionaire. He's the subject of the film The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is a brilliant film. You should definitely watch it. And
No.
he was infamous for being obsessed with his hygiene, his cleanliness. So when you got that scene of Robertson in the bathroom, repeatedly washing his
him being
hands,
OCD.
that's what I thought. Yeah,
Germophobic.
he kind of did.
Whenever I think of Howard Hughes and that shit, I just think of the Simpsons episode with the casino where Mr. Burns becomes a Howard Hughes parody.
Oh my god!
Come on, we'll get in the Spruce Moose. Hop in!
Spruce Moose.
Hop in.
Yes.
Oh, I could. Well, we don't need to reference a bunch of old Simpsons jokes.
So okay, he's pretty much a Trump. He's pretty much a Trump caricature then.
Yeah.
Also, did you just say Monorail? God damn it!
That's not really my issue with him. No, I mean, you can have a jerk ass in Doctor Who. I mean, certainly we had a jerk ass last week. But this is just a callous businessman jerk ass instead of a racist jerk ass. So he's less of a jerk ass.
No.
He's still pretty big of a jerk ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a jerk ass, but he's not set black people back 6,000 years jerk ass.
No, but he locked his bodyguard in a room with a giant spider and shot said giant spider in the face. I think that qualifies as a jerk ass.
Oh, yes.
I mean, to be fair,
saying.
I would have shot the giant spider too because I kind of agree with him that it was a mercy killing.
Yeah,
I know the doctor doesn't like
We're
that.
diving into this. We're diving in.
Yeah, it's like I know that the doctor doesn't like guns and she doesn't like people killing things just because they can and stuff, but it was still a mercy killing. The poor thing was suffocating.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how much it got to me is that I'm saying I feel sorry for a spider. A giant man-eating spider.
You know, we talked about how last week was about doing the right thing by doing the wrong thing. This was arguably doing the right thing for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
His motive is entirely selfish, but he may not have been wrong. Because it was dying anyway.
It was terrible and horrible what he did, but in the end, it was probably really merciful towards the spider.
I was going to say, is it terrible because he put it out of his misery?
I mean, weren't they going to give the spider a humane death anyways?
They were going to let
what's more humane than a single gunshot that just takes it out immediately?
They were going to just let it die with dignity in the ballroom, but that would have been tremendously painful, you would think.
Yeah.
But I agree with Fresno. His portrayal has been divisive, and it's divided us here.
Well, here's my thing, if I may do a little bit of the prosecution here.
Yes, and then we'll present the case for the defense. Perfect.
Okay.
Take that.
My issue really isn't with the debate on whether or not killing the spider was good or bad. That's That's not really the thing I'm concerned with. My thing is that the ending and all of that is sort of unsatisfying when you compare it to Doctor Who that I already love, you know? And I'll explain the fact that ignoring the mercy killing of the spider for a second, which the Doctor doesn't like, so we, the audience, are inclined to also not like him for doing it, because we're sympathetic towards the Doctor, which is how I took it. He's an irresponsible jerk-ass who refuses to take any responsibility for toxic waste and says, "It's not my problem. I didn't do this. I'm innocent. I didn't sign the paperwork." He refuses to take any responsibility. He's gotten 2 people or more killed. And he's trying to actively cover it up, fires Yaz's mom, Nadia, for coming into the hotel early in an attempt to maintain his image, because he's just concerned about his image and all that. And he faces absolutely no repercussions for this, which is something that usually happens in Doctor Who to these jerkasses. Like, I'm not saying he needed to get eaten by a giant spider, but we don't even get so much as a "don't you think he looks tired?" He just gets away with being a jerk-ass for the episode, and that feels tonally off for me in Doctor Who, because so many jerk-asses like this in the show's history have gotten their comeuppance. And the fact that this guy didn't, it's lacking to me.
Okay. Does the prosecution rest?
For now, yeah.
Okay. And this is where I say that it's actually the fact that he doesn't get a comeuppance, which I found quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I think we could see him again. And then you might get...
That is a very real possibility.
Then he might get what you're hoping for.
I mean, if that happens, then certainly, yes. Retroactively, I'll say, okay, then we'll do it. But at the moment in time, I can retroactively say, okay, well, to that. I can't precognitively say, oh, well, he got his comeuppance in 4 weeks' time, so this is fine.
Yeah, but I just like the fact they did something different, and also I hate to sort of draw attention to the real world because it's currently terrible at the moment, but sometimes the bad guy gets away with it.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with
all
you
the time
there,
here.
but, I don't watch Doctor Who for realism. I watch it for fun escapism.
Fair enough, but if I see what you're saying.
Also,
but
then you feel like the escape of us going to Rosa Parks. That was fun.
God.
Yeah, there was your
Hey,
realism.
how about that episode where Clara died? That was fun too.
Oh boy, what fun! Grim and gritty realism.
But you've thrown me of what I was going to say. Yeah, but if every Doctor Who villain gets their comeuppance, right, doesn't that run the risk of falling into a pattern and a formula?
Plus, there's the fact that that's not entirely true at all either, because
No.
I can think of at least one off the top of my head who never gets his comeuppance, and that's Gus.
Yes, Gus just vanishes off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
I can only think there were plans to bring him back.
We don't find out anything about him. He just gets away with murdering a whole bunch of people with a mummy.
I can only think that there were plans to maybe bring Gus back or explain him away, and they just didn't come to fruition.
I think I might have heard some rumbles in that regard from what's his face who did that? Who the fuck?
The actor was John Sessions.
No, not the actor. The writer of Mommy.
Oh, Jamie Matheson.
Yes, it's the guy.
The guy I wanted to be the next show.
For some reason, I was stuck on Peter Harness, but I'm like, no, that's the Edmund guy.
Wait, next showrunner? We just got this one.
No.
You can wait.
Back when Moffat left.
Back when Mummy was a thing, I said Jamie Matheson for showrunner.
Oh, okay.
And stuck by it, and then Moffat left, and Chibnall got the job. But so far, he's doing a pretty good job.
Well,
yeah, he is.
Well, there is a bit of a theme with the Chibnall era. Yeah. Well, I think we'll get to it with.
I do think Chris Knopf's portrayal of Robertson That, I think, is also divisive, because some said he didn't do a very good job, that his
I thought he was hilarious.
his dialogue was not realistic.
Trumpian jerk ass, he did good.
I thought he was a highlight. My favourite moment of his was when the spiders were being marched into the panic room. He's just there in the background, waving the gun around, saying, "You see this? That's who in charge now. I'm talking to spiders."
Yeah.
I really liked when he's at the door of the bathroom listening to Keith screaming and gunshots firing. He's like, "Is it dead yet?"
Yeah.
What do you think, Kevin? You dumbass.
It's like, Kevin's gone. I have no more Kevins. I'm compromised. Oh no.
Seriously, he was the funniest thing.
I thought he did great.
He was like the perfect parody of Trump, where he's just unable to do anything on his own. I mean,
Yes.
He even had a schedule for bathroom breaks.
And I thought they were going to do a joke at first, because they didn't name him for the longest time. And Graham ran like, "No way, you're that bloke." And I thought they were just going to not name him throughout the entire episode.
That would have been funny.
That would have been.
I thought that was the gag they were going for. They didn't do that in the end. I thought they were going to do like a Futurama and that guy, but they didn't.
I mean, they literally named the alien premiere and the credits Tim Shaw, so...
Yes.
That would have
Not
been
that
funny if in the
impressive.
credits he was that guy.
That guy.
That bloke, Chris Knock.
Yeah, that bloke, that's it. Well, they put Tim Shaw in the credits instead of Tim Shaw. I could have done that, but they didn't. One more question about Robertson before we move on. Why was he so concerned about his phone in the bathroom?
He had all his scheduled poop breaks on it.
What?
How the man gonna remember when to take a shit if you don't have a schedule?
Oh my god.
Well, from what he knew, he was alone in the place with just, Yaz's mom and Yaz. And he had to call somebody to get a new Kevin, so...
Get a new Kevin, like it's just a clone batch of Kevins.
What's your name? I'm Steve. You're Kevin now.
So the Kevins of the New Centaurans, is that what we're saying?
Oh god. The Kevin's confirmed for the series finale monster.
God.
There was one other guest character who she didn't really get a huge amount to do, but you rather liked the cat. We're talking about Jade.
Yep.
Jade McIntyre.
He's nice.
I liked her a lot.
She's kind of a pseudo-companion in the way she acts.
Oh, well, yeah.
And yet, she has almost no development at all.
Well, I mean, she's just there to be the expert for the episode.
Yeah,
She
I'll level
explains
with
the sciences.
I'll level with everyone here. I originally called her, when we were preparing to do this, the exposition fairy, and Kat got very upset about that.
Yeah, I did.
And
I don't
she
like that
explained
term
it to
that
me.
much.
She explained to me that she isn't, and I admit now that she is not an exposition fairy. She might be there to give exposition, but she's not the exposition fairy.
Yeah,
So I put my hands up to that.
me, at least to me, an exposition fairy is someone who flits in and they're like, "Oh, this is all you need to know about the story and how to do this, and this is my theory, and here's how to do this," and then they fuck off and they die or they just aren't seen again or something like that.
Yeah. She developed and slowly fed a trickle of information to the
Was she another guest character that just completely vanished when there was no longer any need for the story to be there?
Well, yeah, I mean, that gets into the whole ending. Like, right after Robert's Spider-Man's like, "I win! Best!" It just ends.
Yes. Well, I can explain it. I can understand it for Robertson just walking out because, no comeuppance. He gets a kind of resolution, but Jade just sort of stands there while the spider is dying, and then you don't see her again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that she had to get busy and go around collecting all the other spiders so they could be.
I thought you were about to
properly
say.
disposed
I
of.
thought she had to return to her home planet.
God.
She got a ride with Poochie.
No.
That's what I was referring to. But thank you for playing, Cat.
More Simpsons references. Great.
Other things to mention before we wrap up. The new Time Vortex is gorgeous to look at.
Oh my god, yes!
Mood.
But I fear for epileptics because I don't have epilepsy, and that still hurt to look at.
I think that it fit with the new TARDIS inside as well because it was very cave structure like.
Yeah, fits with the TARDIS.
So is the inside of the TARDIS.
Fits with the opening
All those
credits.
little vortexes look like diodes.
It's great.
I loved it. It was so cool.
And the scene at the end where they all decide to the companions, friends, whatever, decide to continue traveling with the Doctor.
Which is
and the two
interesting
knuckleheads.
Which is interesting considering the kind of adventures they've had.
Yeah.
They've
I love
been
Graham's
on
motivations.
shitty alien planet, racist America, giant spiders. Let's keep doing this shit.
Yeah, but Graham had the perfect reason for not for going with her, for not staying behind.
Oh god.
He needed time to grieve.
I would say all three of them kind of did because Yaz was craving more excitement and being a police officer, and this offers a ton of excitement. Graham obviously has his issues with his grief, and then Ryan would be alone if he didn't go with them.
And I think
he could go to his dad's, but his dad is an asshole. So
I think he may never admit it, but I don't think he wanted to leave Graham.
That too, yeah.
At least he won't admit it yet. Give
Yeah.
it another 6 episodes and maybe he will.
There's also an interesting parallel you can draw here with the first 4 episodes of this series and the first 4 stories of Series 1. And I don't mean Hartnell, I mean the Eccleston era. Yeah, well, the first story, the companion is introduced and travels with the Doctor. The second is to travel to a far-off, distant future. The third is an historical, and the fourth, they return to the present day with the Doctor's intention to be to leave them there, but they decide to continue travelling with him or her.
The present, future, past sort of thing structure for the first 3 has been done a lot in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Series 8 did it. Series 10 did it, as I recall.
Series 3?
Did Series 10 do it? I mean, pilot, what was...
No, not really, because the pilot took him into the future.
No, pilots... Oh, yeah, pilot prep... Yeah, well, it was like a 2-second jump into the future.
All right, if you count the main setting as the present, yes, Series 10 did it.
Pilot Smile Thin Ice.
Series 3 did it. Series 4 did it.
And Chibnall is just doing it twice, at least for the first 6.
Yes, I guess. I don't know what goes on beyond the first 6, other than the King James I episode, but yeah, it looks like that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of important to have some sort of familiarity in there, just so that people don't have, intense culture shock from the whole thing changing.
One more little thing: Team TARDIS is now canon, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Let them have their fun.
That was a fan-coined term that is now officially canon.
I don't mind it. I'm more annoyed by the fan term.
It's better than fan, though.
Fan.
That's what the Doctor originally was going to call them.
Fan.
And then decided on Team
TARDIS. I could think of way worse things that fans have thought up.
Fuck! Wait! We're wrapping up. We're just doing stuff we forgot to talk about, right?
Yeah.
The fucking bass!
Oh, the music?
Spiders!
Not just bass, Stormzy, of all things.
I don't know who that is, but it was...
UK grime artist.
Okay, yeah. It was some good shit. Just yeah, boy, drop that motherfucking bass, get them spiders up in here.
Not in as many words, because they'd never get away with that, but yes.
Well, basically, but you know, that was the intent.
I don't listen to Stormzy. It's not my sort of thing, but yeah, it was Stormzy.
Is that the rap from that segment?
Yeah,
it's the music that's playing when they lead the spiders into the panic room.
Oh, okay, so that was the shitty rap that they played. Okay.
Oh, God.
I am a DMZ girl, and you are not going to take that away from me, okay?
Got him!
I like classic rap. Excuse you.
Which you can shorten to crap.
Oh my God.
I will fly my ass over there and I will beat down your door.
Just your ass. That's going to be quite a sight.
Oh, God.
See, I won't come over there to hurt you. I will come over there, stand outside of your house on your lawn or whatever equivalent you have of that at 3 a.m. and blare DMZ.
No, you're quite safe, Cat.
You're going to wake up one morning and all you're going to hear is, "It's going to go to you."
And I'll probably be dancing to it because I don't mind rap at all, really. That was just a joke at your expense.
Oh, my God. Y'all and your musical taste.
I do have a very eclectic musical taste. Very
Trust
varied.
me, if I showed you...
I'm not bringing up my musical taste because I don't want to get boomboxed.
Let me put it this way. On my playlist that I play, just about every single day, I have over 400 songs. So
Yep.
Dang.
And it varies wildly.
Oh, hell yeah.
I could give you like a little picture of it and you'd be like, what the fuck?
Maybe do that another time, eh? Because
So, the overall thoughts?
the overall thoughts, yeah. I will let... who went first last time? I think it was Fresno, wasn't it?
We'll say so.
I think it was because you came in later. So, Kat, your thoughts?
Yeah. My thoughts about arachnids in the UK. But yeah, CGI on the spiders was really good, too good. The fact that they were visibly hairy really grossed me out. The episode itself, I liked, the basic story idea. It wasn't, here's a whole bunch of aliens. It's, here's some mutated spiders that came about because of capitalism. Frez's favorite thing. I like Robertson. I liked Jade. I liked, all the different people they had in there. The Doctor is still good. Graham and Ryan and Yaz are all still good. So I found it to be a very enjoyable episode.
Okay. Now for a rebuttal to that. Sorry.
Well,
really
I'm only going to rebut.
before I let him go on, I just want to say one thing. I really, really like how active these companions are.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the past, we've had companions where they might stand and, they might try to listen to what the Doctor says and not understand what the heck they're supposed to be doing. And then eventually they'd go on to do it. These three companions are a lot more capable. They may not understand everything that the Doctor says just because it's the Doctor. But, if they see this probe thing to shock a ball of tentacles, they'll just be like, okay, sure, yeah, that sounds right to me, and they'll go and shock it. They want to catch a spider? How can we catch a spider? Oh, we have a kitchen here. There's giant pots with pot lids. There we go.
Yeah, they do have ingenuity, don't they?
Yeah, I just like how capable they are.
Yeah, I think that's a big plus as well, and I do apologise for butting in. I thought you were done. So
No, you're fine.
Sorry. Right, now for a rebuttal to that, Fresno.
Well, it's not so much rebuttal. I will say that the journey was fun. The destination, the ending, not so great. But the episode itself was a fun little monster romp with spooky spider scares. And it had a lot of fun characters. It had some good character interactions for Yaz. Really heart-wrenching stuff with Graham. And some great little moments. So overall, the ride was fun. I just have my misgivings about the ending. Because it doesn't live up to the standards that I most uphold in my personal view of Doctor Who.
Let's be fair. The Raven also didn't get its comeuppance for killing Clara, so...
Little bastard.
Yes.
One day!
One day, Raven, you will get yours.
One day we'll find out that Fresno got arrested for going outside and throwing rocks at birds, shouting, "Fuck off!"
No, but, if they do follow up on this, then great. It'll retroactively help things a bit. Yeah. But as of now, it's like, this is at least the second episode, I'd say the Ghost Monument as well, where things just sort of end in a certain respect.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Space Rally thing is just, whoosh, fuck, bye.
Yeah.
And Robertson's just like, bang, I'm the best. See ya. Peace out, bitches. I ain't gonna go to jail for this shit. And then it just ends, which I don't know if this suggests that Chibnall has a problem with endings. I mean, I don't recall his past work that much to know if he has an issue with sticking the landing on things. But, you know, he's 50-50 so far as endings go.
Right. Okay.
I mean, Tim Shaw didn't get much of an ending either, but then again, he could probably come back, and he was also kind of a joke, so I didn't mind that well. And Cresco, well, he got Stone Age. Who gives a fucking shit?
Yeah, basically.
Like, I don't care. We didn't get him
joke, but you minded him way more.
What? Didn't catch that.
Robertson was also a joke.
Yeah, he was kind of a joke. Yeah. Cresco just got his shit. He got blasted initially.
Yeah. So I'm just trying not to laugh at what Kat said about...
And Tim Shaw got humiliated. So
I'm just trying not to laugh about what Kat said about you being arrested for throwing rocks at birds. All I can think of is like... just on the news at 10, it's like, in the headlines tonight, Canadian man arrested at the Tower of London for trying to stone the Ravens.
Why would I have to come to London to...
Because the Tower of London is associated with ravens.
We have birds in Canada,
Or I should say ravens are associated with the Tower of London. I was trying to keep it to within my domain.
I don't have the money to come to your domain. Birds.
I don't think they're going to talk about you on the news at 10 if you put a stone or bird in your own back garden. Let's put it that way.
We'll talk about them on my news.
Today's news at 10. Man was found trying to break into the bird enclosure at the local zoo. He claimed that he was trying to get back for Clara. More later.
Anyway, this is a bit tangent. Yeah. So we'll just say, good ride. Wasn't so hot on the end of the ride, but overall, pretty fun episode. Rainiac, what you think?
I thought it was a perfectly enjoyable episode. I think it's one that might be near the bottom of the pile in terms of quality once the series is over, but of course we won't know that till the series is over. I enjoyed Kristoff's turn as the bad guy, as Robertson, but I can totally understand why others didn't. It was good to see Yasmin get some focus and some character development at long last, and yeah, it was just a very competent and fun episode.
It was great.
I enjoyed it. Chris Chibnall's on a roll. 4 for 4.
Don't fuck it up.
Yes, and hopefully next time he will not, as Kat says, fuck it up. As we move on to episode 5, and this is a handful to pronounce, but the Saranga Conundrum.
Gesundheit.
It's a conundrum to try and pronounce it.
Yes, basically. There's very little that you can get from the trailer for this episode.
Space, shooty things.
It's a hospital set in the future, I think they said. It looks like it's going to be a base under siege episode. And they haven't shown off the monster or the villain at all. And you know what? I'm very happy about that.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm digging this new minimalist approach with the next time trailers.
I wouldn't even know what the episode...
I wish that BBC America would apply that. Because they're doing that thing again where they take a little snippet of the episode and they start playing it so you think the episode's back. But then it goes to stay tuned for more Doctor Who. It's
that's the worst. You! That's the worst.
And the worst part is that they take bits from later on. So you start up and you're like, where's that scene? Where's that scene? And then 5 minutes later, there's the scene.
You've complained about this before, but that just sounds terrible.
That's just
They're doing it again. And I hate it.
That is so dumb.
Do that shit up.
That is so dumb. BBC America, get your act together. Seriously. But yeah, I don't know what to expect, but that's not a bad thing, and I just hope that it continues this role that he's on. Because I think he's written this and the one that we just watched, and then it goes back to another guest writer.
Yeah, Vinay Patel.
Yeah, but he's episode 6.
Episode 6. So...
I've got a whole week before I have to start thinking about being guilty about colonialism.
I like the title of episode 6 as well.
Yes.
I don't know the title yet.
It's Demons in the Punjab.
Yeah.
Which is a great title.
Oh my god.
But I have a horrible feeling, given Chris Chibnall's current record, the demons are going to be colonialism.
I mean, that's valid, isn't it?
Yes. Thank God we've got a whole extra week before I have to talk about it at length.
Don't worry.
Yep.
You get
So,
your
Frez,
safe
we're going to
space
make
on
the
your-
pact now. When episode 6 comes up, we have to talk in the most obnoxiously fake English accents ever. So, get practicing.
I thought you were going to say episode 6 is just going to be a constant guilt trip of me.
Cat, don't make me break out. You know who he is. Don't make me break him out.
Oh God,
Why do you
no.
think I said it?
No. Put him back in the box now.
No,
Because
bring him out of the
this is
box.
really bad, Rainiac.
And on that sour note, thank you to my two guests for joining me to talk about Arachnids in the UK. Thank you to you, the audience. And we'll see you next week for the Siranga Conundrum. I still haven't pronounced that right, I don't think, but it doesn't matter. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Three, 2, 1, go. Please welcome our special guest, the North Wind.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.